this game, it is what it is, right? No amount of pushing back, and I'm not gonna keep dumping more money into it. Fuck it, take the bullet and let it be released, and then go about your day. I mean, yeah, you're gonna take the flag because you pay for it. I don't see what Parker's logic is. Yes, they're gonna be whole responsible because they do have input in it. How the fuck you gonna pay for something and not have any say so? So I mean, I don't. Yeah, Parker tripping on that. Yes, you can hold Sony and both Square accountable. Like I don't see because you think
I'm
Sony
almost
pays
down
money.
to the
You think
the
Sony
arcade
don't
room.
Sony
Nothing
don't
wrong
pay
with that
money and
game.
not.
Ain't nothing wrong with that game.
Well,
I don't know, Loki. Forspoken just ain't it for me.
Y'all ain't buy the game though.
Weren't you guys like hyped about Forspoken when it was announced?
I don't think a lot of. I don't know how many people were hyped, but it ain't a bad game at all. I mean, it's not Horizon as far as graphical fidelity. There are times where it's like yeah, it's not as sharp as a PlayStation first party game, but it's still a good game.
what's good,
The
Dre?
performance,
It looks
is,
it's
the
corny
performance.
as shit, bro.
Oh, we live, fellas. We live.
It's just not my type of game. Overall, it's just I've seen like the dialogue is just I'm like
Yeah,
shit,
that's
corny.
it's actually not bad at all. A lot of games are corny. If you play JRPGs, you play Japanese games. If you play even Western RPG, all of these games have
Yeah,
corny
but
dialogue.
it's like Kingdom Hearts type corny.
And yeah, that's fine. Kingdom Hearts is very successful, but I mean, to each his own. But
And I mean, like I said,
the
yeah,
narrative that the game
it's really not the type of game for me. Truth be told, like I was looking more to like some type of like Devil May Cry ish type of setup at first, but that's just me, right? That's the type of shit I like. Um, you know, I've seen it, people like it, but it's not.
Shout out to
It ain't for
Flippin',
me.
shout out to Dre, shout out to my man Merk.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody up in here. Let's get it going. We just we did what we call in the DJ world. We did a dry start to the show. We didn't do an opening. We just jumped in and did what we did. What we did.
Live now?
Yeah, we live, brother.
Yeah. We're live.
Yeah, we're live. We just came through and just we did one of those shadow drops. You know what I'm saying? Like Hi-Fi Rush. We did one of them joints. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix
Yes,
this.
sir. What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday.
You know it. Today is the Sabbath. Remember that. Man, something smells good upstairs. Somebody cooking something real good. But
For all my combat sports fans, we got UFC tonight.
Oh, okay. You gonna watch that?
Yeah, I work closely with it. I don't want to get into that again. I don't work for him. But yeah, I work with close to the UFC. So are we good?
Yeah, we good.
All right. So yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, I watch all of the UFC. Even before I was working closely with it, I like combat sports. I like the art of it. Some people think it's brutal, but there's a lot of different techniques and stuff in mixed martial arts, and you can use a lot of them in UFC. You just got to be very good. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good call.
And what game you talking about?
No, I'm talking about
you talking about the event tonight. You got
main event.
Okay,
the
okay.
event tonight. Yeah, and that's the thing about UFC is like the best guy has to always fight like the best guy. Like you can't really duck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't
Yeah,
duck and stuff like that. So that's what I love about it because being that it's combat sports and it's the ultimate combat sport. Now I get it. Boxing probably a little more technical, but in UFC you got to use everything part of your body. You can have a good striking game, but if you run into a guy that's a mat wrestler, he probably take you out. If he gets you on the ground, he get you in that choke, something like that. It could be problematic. So it is. It's. I mean, see, that's the thing about like UFC, man. Like all bets are off, but like you don't know who's gonna win. Like you can say, oh, this guy's a good striker, or this guy is this, or he's that. But at the end of the day, you never know, man. Styles make fights, like for real, when it comes to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason why they all want to hit that Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all of that. Like, yo, man, that Muay Thai, like let's get that because we know whatever style I guess is the hot style. It's the winning style. Like a lot of people want to, I guess try to learn that. Or I mean, look, it's come a long way from just karate, kung fu, and judo. I mean, that's kind of how it was.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like back in the 80s and 90s and shit.
They had their specialists, yep. But now, I mean, if you're not good at everything to very good at everything, you really don't have a shot.
No, you don't, and you got to have a ground game too. Like now, you can't just be like a dude that can just strike. Like, bro, if you don't have a ground game, what you gonna do when you get on the ground? Like, you in trouble. Yeah, you in trouble. So we got a few topics. Our producer Parker, he went off stamping. He's mad at me. So we'll and he'll be back. We ain't gonna. He's mad. We had a disagreement, and hey, that's what it is. The disagreement had to do with Forspoken. Forspoken has caused another fight within the gaming community. How about that? That's what seems to be happening all the time. But anyway, hit the like button when you get in. We got a few topics we're gonna talk about here. Loki opened up here when we were gonna talk about the UFC. He's in the UFC. I am too. I kind of like when sometimes these wrestlers try to come through and become UFC fighters, and you gotta be careful with that. Not everybody can be a fighter. Once again, shout out to Dre, shout out to Merc. Flippin' said he'll be through real soon. We'll get it rolling here. I think first topic we're gonna talk about here is Sony is supposedly dropping a state of play soon. And a big PlayStation showcase, before E3. So, I think, what do you think about this, Manhattan? That Sony's going to be dropping a state of play soon. Finally, now that they can stop hiding, all of their, shit about what they got coming, what's exclusive or whatever. What are your feelings on this Sony coming out with this state of play here?
Hey, Rick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said repeat the question again.
Okay, Sony. What do you think about Sony dropping this state of play soon, and they're gonna have a big showcase, after E3? Not on the time of E3, like they're going after.
Is this confirmed?
Well,
Well,
the source is Nathan Birch, who has a.
Who's that?
He's been right a few times, been wrong a few times too. But
is this before or after E3?
They got a showcase that's coming before E3. A state of play is coming soon.
State of play is soon. It's supposed to be coming soon.
Yeah, state of play is actually I think next month is the state of play.
Yeah,
the state of play should be coming in March. But it says the last few weeks, because they're saying that since Xbox and Bethesda did their thing and Nintendo dropped their show, which introduced the $70 Zelda, which people are acting like they're so surprised about that. What is everybody surprised about? Is that Nintendo said, hey, you know what? Why get $10 less than everybody else?
We weren't expecting it to happen this generation. We were expecting it to happen the next generation, the Switch 2.
Right, people thought they was going to wait to get a new hardware, much more powerful hardware, much like, PS5 and Series X. But Nintendo, they charge you $60 for the previous Zelda game, and use the same exact asset and everything else. Nothing changed and charges $70. It's like, well, there you go. No enhancement, nothing.
No, nothing. But you know what though? I think honestly.
But then again, that was expected because they told y'all they was gonna raise prices of the game. People just, for some reason, people just looked at it. Well, this is a Sony thing. I'm like, nah, this was across the board thing.
Yeah. And why not get out in front of it? Because now when you release your new system, it's going to be 70 anyway. So now, in a sense, Nintendo.
Do you see Pikmin being 70? I mean,
they're all going to be 70, bro. Listen, here's the deal. Nintendo, in a sense, they got out in front of this, and I'll tell you why. Because now you can't say, oh, they came out with new hardware and now they raised their prices. No, that's not the case. They already raised the prices. So now it's like, okay, they kind of got.
So I guess it's them getting us to get used to the idea of that.
Yeah, now they did get a new Metroid.
Yes, it's a remaster of the first Metroid. Yes.
Now is that $70?
No, it's $40.
Oh, okay.
So I think it'll be like depending on the IP, like the next Mario will probably be $70. It's gonna be $70. Metroid Prime 4, I'm thinking that'll be $60.
Think that'll be 60?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, I mean, so there it is. They're gonna have, and like I told you, like they used to have in the 80s and 90s, Nintendo didn't always, like for those that don't remember or those that don't care or whatever. I'm here to inform you. Nintendo used to have sporadic pricing for all of their cartridges. Their third-party games like Street Fighter used to be $79.99 back in the day, whereas you'll have like a regular game of theirs be $54.99, $49.99. Like their prices were all over the place in the cartridge era. So I'm not shocked that a Metroid is, one price and then you got one thing is another price. I mean, hell, it happens. Let's see. Oh, Dre said, "Can I drop these court documents before they do that? Because we need that." Oh, no doubt, no doubt. It's once for Sony fanboys championing this, we would not be in this situation. According to them, games are worth $70. Oof. Nintendo games are not worth $70 if they cannot be played in high definition. What are we doing here? The frame rates are low. Man, Dre just took mad shot. Levon, you're the Nintendo guy. You got to defend this. What's going on here, Levon? Talk to your people.
Brother. Whoa. I mean, there's been plenty of Nintendo games that have been 720p, 900p. So,
but
Mario Odyssey's 900p. Zelda's, I think it's like 900p, 30 frames per second. So there's been plenty of games that's been high definition on the Nintendo, and plus Wii U era. You have to remember too. Wii U games, Nintendo ones were mostly 720p, and with the Switch, Mario Kart Deluxe, that was 1080p full HD. So I can't agree with that statement that Dre made. I can't agree with that. If they cannot be played in high definition, what are we doing here? I cannot agree with it. I just can't.
Well, there you have it. Levon, shots fired. He's coming after you, Dre. The light-skinned guys are at war, folks. If that's in case anybody wanted to understand this. Normally, they usually get along with each other. But in this case, Dre is saying that the Nintendo stuff not worth $70. Well, I look at it like this. They're selling the cheapest hardware out of everybody. Well, I don't know. That OLED's going for what, $349? So that's
but that's an optional though. That's an optional.
Yeah, but that sucker was more than the Series S. Damn. Wow. Maybe Nintendo is not.
Well, I mean, the cheapest one's the Lite. The cheapest one's the Lite. The Switch Lite.
Yeah, it is. But man, hey, Levon, your boys over there at Nintendo are getting besides themselves. What's going on here?
I mean, they're becoming more corporate. That's what I noticed. They're becoming more corporate, and Switch is selling.
And the Switch, folks, is it's on pace. And listen, I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, or any time happening here. The Switch is actually almost on pace to break the PS 2.
Nintendo games look like crap on my OLED.
Oh man.
I gotta put the chat. Sorry, fellas, I had to take a call.
Oh, it's all good, brother.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, Loki, are you a Nintendo dude? I mean, every kid was one at one time.
Yeah, I definitely was one, and I'm not gonna lie. I almost got a OLED when they first came out. When was that? 2011?
2021.
Yeah. And I pre-ordered it, and two days later, because I wanted to play that Pokemon. I'm like, open world Pokemon. I could try it out because I'm a Pokemon guy. I played it back in the day, so I was playing Go when that fad was going on. But
now was Pokemon Go? That was on like cell phones and shit, right?
Yeah, that was on cell phones.
Yeah, but see, it's funny because there's always a dumbass in the world, right? Remember that dumb girl that walked into the ocean because she was trying to grab a Pikachu, and they made it seem like they're gonna sue Nintendo because her dumbass was walking around off of a freaking ledge in the ocean to go catch a Pikachu. Like,
Real man. I remember one time I was at a red light and I'm over here trying to catch it. I'm like, this is when I knew. I'm like, yeah, I'm a little in too deep. I'm driving, trying to play this damn game. But so yeah, I was gonna get it. I was gonna get an OLED Switch, and then a couple days
Not
later,
worth it.
Oh no! Whoa! We got a guest here. Shout out to Freckle.
Shout out to Dre.
Freckle got me. That bastard got me for $70 because Starfield was delayed, and he's here in the chat to try to get some more of my money. Shout out to Pastor Joe. Pastor Joe is in the building. What's up, Pastor Joe? It's good to see you here, brother. Pastor Joe, I heard they broke your legs over on Next Gen 720 show when they let King Trash and J Scrub have his way, man. What happened, Pastor? You know, yeah, it was messed up, and then damn Franco come in here. Oh man, what's good, brother? Hey, Phil Spencer still loves black people, right? That's what the pastor said. My man.
Hey,
Go ahead, Dre.
I just wanted to comment on the high definition of the Nintendo thing, man.
Okay.
I have the OLED. I have the original Switch. Those games look like trash on OLED TVs.
On your OLED TV?
Oh yeah, they look like.
Is
garbage.
it 4K or 1080p?
I have a C1.
A C1? Hey, Pastor, let me ask you. You're a Nintendo guy. He loves his Switch. Pastor, do you play your Nintendo games in 4K or high definition? Just a question. Hey, Loki. Oh, Loki. I had a Loki question for Loki. Loki muted his mic again. Dang, Loki.
no,
Oh, he's back.
I still had my thought. I was finishing my thing, and then I completely got what I was talking about.
My bad, brother. Yeah, let's let each other finish. Yeah, we was talking about the Switch. Now you said you was gonna get the OLED.
Yeah, I was gonna get right, and then 2 days later, the Steam Deck pre-order
That announced.
that was kind of the end of that. I mean, I have been able to.
Did you cop the Steam? You copped the Steam Deck, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm running my. I just started doing my streams a little more cleaner, and I'm running OBS right off of my Steam Deck. Just got to plug up to my monitor, and then the TV. But yeah, it's running beautifully right now. 1080, 60. If you get a chance to look at my stream one of these days, it's running well. So I'm glad I made that purchase.
Drop your link.
Valuable.
Drop your link to your Twitch and stuff, and
yeah.
Drop your link up in there.
It was definitely a better purchase for me, than the Switch, and I've been able to kind of figure out how to get some Switch games, and they run beautifully on me.
Nice. Hey, Pastor Joe, drop your link in the chat too, because I know that you be having your opinions and views on
mine is just most gameplay for the most part, but
yes.
You let me come through and rock out for sure.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I like my man Loki right here. Number one, he is Loki. I ain't never out. I mean, there's only one person that felt his wrath, and I won't even mention it. But other than that, he's a lot like me. He's not as tall, he's not as handsome, but Loki is a lot like me, whereas he'll like Xbox, whatever. He not gonna sit here and cap. He not gonna sit here and lie and all this. I don't do that either. Like I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's like when everybody was telling him that Forspoken was trash or it was dog-ish, Loki was like, "No, I'm gonna still play the game." Like he's not gonna let somebody tell him something's bad. He's gonna experience it for himself. Right. And I did the same thing with Death Stranded. People were saying, "Oh, it's corny. Death Stranded is this. Death Stranded that." One. Yeah, yo, that's not true. Like, yo, people be saying anything, yo. Like, they got to stop that. Like, listen, first of all, podcasters podcast, whatever. If you want to take an opinion on a guy about a game, do it from a Twitch guy who's actually playing a game or something. Or he's playing it, on YouTube or whatever. Don't take it from word of mouth of somebody who didn't even play the game or only put 2 or 3 hours into the game. Can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta experience it for yourself.
No gameplay ever, but they want to tell you stuff.
Like, bro, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Would you let some nigga off the street tell you that he's a surgeon, he can give these kids, these girls BBLs? Like, hey, listen, I saw it on YouTube. I'm gonna give you a BBL. It ain't gonna cost you as much. Because, because I'm telling you, it works both ways now. Because this Hi-Fi Rush came out, and people was telling me that this game was the cat's meow. And how it was Game of the Year contender, and this, and I'm like, oh shit! I booted up my Game Pass. I downloaded Hi-Fi Rush. The tutorial was kind of unsatisfying, I'm playing it. I couldn't even get the rhythm right on some of these things. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And then I'm playing the game, and I'm like, you know what? I had more fun with High on Life. To be honest with you, I just wasn't ready for the Hi-Fi. I'll probably go back to it, but unfortunately, now the backlog's here. You got the Dead Spaces here now. You have, you have
the Hogwarts.
The Hogwarts. Yeah, bro. It's going to be, Hi-Fi Rush is one of those games that since I couldn't get to it now, it's like, when am I going to get to it? It's like okay, I don't understand. When am I going to get a chance to get to it? Because, what are we looking at, Levon? May? When does that Tears of the Kingdom come out?
May 12th.
May 12th. Woo! Man.
You got VR coming out the end 2 weeks.
Yeah, got 2 weeks. Got 2 weeks. Yeah, bro, listen, it's tough. And I can't sit here with a channel telling you guys what's what without interacting with these things. I ain't going to be able to platinum all of this stuff, but I'm going to have to put my 20 hours in. I think you can judge a game if it's trash or or whatever in 20 hours. I think that's fair. Because I put my 20 hours in Elden Ring, and I thought Horizon Forbidden West was better. Because guess what? I put 80 hours in that. Because I wanted to keep playing it. I wanted to go get all of this shit with Aloy and shit. I wanted to do that. In Elden Ring, I think the problem with me with Elden Ring was they're telling me to go to this castle. I'm explaining to you how it was explained to me when I played. Maybe I'm missing something. Loki, did you play Elden Ring?
I did. I actually put about 80 hours in it.
Okay,
again on my Steam Deck.
Perfect. I'm glad we got a man here. Loki has played Elden Ring. Anybody else in the chat play Elden Ring? Because this is how I looked at Elden Ring, y'all. I'm telling you right now. When I played Elden Ring, I was told that I had to go to this castle. And, and they didn't even explain it to me that well. But that was the gist of it. All right, nigga, go to this castle. So I'm trying to go to this castle. And on my way to this castle, I'm getting beat up by everybody to this castle I'm trying to go to. I'm getting one shot, I'm dying, I'm coming back, and I leave my gold or whatever it is on the ground, and, then I was told, well, you got to go and grind. You got to go beat up the same enemies 300 times until you get strong enough to then go to the said castle. And then it's this guy, Godric's going to be waiting there for you, and you got to beat him. And I said, okay. So I walked around for about 10 hours, beating up these little zombie-like, dead vampire-looking things. I stole swords. The guy with the big swing would kill me a lot. I run, I hide. I did everything I could. I did beat Godric. And probably beat another other boss. My cousin Rob came in. He helped me out. My buddy Luke. I just said, you know what, fuck this. I can't live like this. This is
a lot of grinding, yo.
Yeah, I'm not with that. I said, listen, man, if I got to start doing, and you know what? There are certain games that where you can grind and you feel like you're getting the reward. Destiny 1 for me was one of those games. Because I remember when I was like a level 5 in Destiny, and people was laughing at me. But I met a cool-ass white dudes that said, hey, Browns, come hang out with us in our party, and we'll get you leveled up nice and quick. And I started hanging out with these dudes, and they was killing a bunch of stuff, and I'm getting XP, and next thing you know, I'm not an 8 anymore, I'm a 20, and then I got a Gallahorn, and I'm this and that. We're going on freaking, what do you call those things, nightmares you have every Tuesday, the night falls, and they're doing it. Bro, that shit was fun as hell. Like, that motherfucking Destiny 1 was hitting heavy. And then we got the Gallahorn, and we was taking out the freaking bosses and stuff when we were doing the raids. Like, man, that shit was banging. I was like, now that was one of the games that I appreciated when it was time to grind. It was Destiny. That right there was, man. And I mean, and Destiny, it's got a spot in my brain, in my heart, my fingertips, because that's when my twin boys was real little. And they had just learned to talk. They'd be like, hey, Daddy, you playing Destiny? That's what these kids were saying at 2 years old. Daddy, you playing Destiny? And I'm like, yeah, son, I'm playing Destiny because it's the only fucking game I can get into because y'all won't sleep through the night. So that's what I had to do. I'm playing Destiny, holding my kid on my lap and shit. Playing. As a matter of fact, I remember I got into a fight with a kid in the voice chat because we were sitting here doing a raid and my son was crying. He was like, hey, shut that baby up. I said, who the fuck you talking to? That's my son. And this, yeah, I got mad. I'm like, oh, man, I really am a dad now. Like, yeah, that shit was crazy. But to me, The best game that I ever grinded with and it was worth it, besides Destiny, I would say would be Skyrim. That was one of those games that I grinded with too. Levon, what is your best game that you grinded with? I know you're a Nintendo guy and you like them damn side scrollers and shit, the platformers. But you know, as far
What's your question?
yeah. What game do you feel as though that you grinded on and it was worth it? Or have you ever?
Oh,
Yeah. Now it shouldn't be that long, Levon. You're only 22 years old now. I mean, my God.
Probably Mario 3D World or what's that other game?
Now, does Mario have any special powers? Anything? I mean, I rode like this chicken and shit with him, and they spit
You got the
stuff.
boomerang.
Oh,
He
man.
got the with the mushrooms.
hat,
He can.
right?
Yeah, the swirl had that too. That's Mario Odyssey.
Now, correct me.
I
if I'm
gotten
wrong.
up to 120 moons. Yeah.
What in the blue hell? Now listen, this man Mario is a plumber, right?
hmm
Does he not have a fucking plunger to hit you with or anything?
No, he does not have a plunger.
Jesus.
He ain't in his world, bro. He ain't get to bring his tools with him.
Oh.
Feel?
No, see, that's
Yeah.
why I find that hard to believe. Because all the fucking plumbers I know carry this belt. And they got all this shit on it. So you telling me that this motherfucker...
They normally got like a wrench.
Yeah, at least a
Well, I
wrench.
understand.
Like, damn. Like, yo, oh, man. Mario is not prepared for class. I don't understand this. How can he
When
not
is that
have a...
movie coming out? Speaking of,
I
I think
don't know.
April. I think it's April.
that
Now-
look good, man.
Hi, you think they
Man,
do
it
big
does
numbers?
look good.
You think they do big numbers?
Absolutely.
I think it will do.
Gun to your head. Who has better ticket sales, Mario or the Flash movie?
Mario.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Mario.
Oh, shit. Damn, y'all think Mario's a stronger brand than the Flash or DC?
Yeah, remember, Nintendo Land is a thing, man, and I hear a lot of people go there. It's like one of the better.
You going to Nintendo Land, Rick?
Where is it?
Oh, I know there's one overseas. Is there one here?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think there's
The
one
bigger
here. It
one.
gets stomped out by Disney. I don't think it wants that smoke. No, that motherfucking Mickey
They
Mouse
have it,
runs
but
the
they
world.
are-
You think Nintendo versus Disney? That
Oh,
would be interesting.
how? How? Well, hold on. Let's think. You know what, Levon? Let's take this little theory. Nintendo, you know what? Disney could send Cinderella to go stomp out fucking Mario. Are you fucking serious? Like, Levon, I get it. You're only 22 years old. I mean, goddamn, Disney could send them crows from what was that? Them racist crows. Remember they had them crows up there in Dumbo. They can go and freaking destroy Nintendo. Like Disney is on another level.
One in Japan.
All right, Ricky, you got me.
Well, I'm about to say, and I hate to twist the knife while they're seeing you, brother, but when you say Disney, you're talking Star Wars, you're talking Marvel.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I
bro.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about this convo? Nintendo Land is opening up February 17th.
Where?
It's literally like
6 more
week
days,
from
yeah.
now. Yeah,
Where
they
at?
have one in Japan, but I'm reading here to open Universal Studios Hollywood, so I'm guessing.
Wait a minute. It's gonna be in California.
Orlando.
Yeah.
The first one's California, then they're doing one in Orlando.
Well, so when's the Orlando one open? Because I ain't flying to California. It's only a 2-hour flight to Florida for me. I ain't flying to fucking California. I can't.
Let me see.
I fly to California, I might not come back.
Just saying 2025. I'm not sure if it's changed, but
2025. See, usually we go to Universal every year, so we're going this year in April. I'm gonna be busy, and I go to Florida in April, and I also go to London in April. That's why I'm gonna choke the shit out of the Riff. Yeah,
damn, that's
Oh
lot of
man. Oh
traveling.
my god.
yeah, because the Riff talking about the Riff keeps telling me he's in the Broadband Bully Discord. The Riff keeps telling me he's 6'6". So I said I'll be in London in April. I'm gonna find out if you're really 6'6", nigga. You know.
that's
Yeah, no doubt. Mac City in the house. My man. Yes, Mac, if I go out to Cali, listen, bro. I can't go to Cali for a couple reasons, Mac. I got an ex-lover out there, man, and she won't let me go home. So I can't go out there, Mac. So if I did go to Cali, it'd be a one-way ticket to hell and back. I won't be making it back, brother. I won't be making it back. Oh,
right.
Badman's here. Look at this. Oh, man. Oh, he got dwarfs. Shout out to Badman. Badman is just like the Rick. Now, listen, he's not as tall and he's not as handsome. But he's got twins. just like I had twins. And once, here's what I can say to you, Batman. By you having those twins right now, sir, your next kid is going to be a piece of cake because it's only going to be one kid. You're going to be like, oh, hell, one kid? Let me throw this kid in a fucking swing or something and get him going. Hey, yo, Batman, Parker's mad at me. He mad at me because I yelled at him, and he said, you got it, and he bounced. So that's why Parker's not on the panel today. He's mad. We got into a fight over Forspoken. Yeah, the same reason why why Loki and fucking and the guy who we won't say had a fight was over the same game. Forspoken.
Oh man, for real.
Yeah, Forspoken has started fights, man, bro. Like I ain't got no problem with Parker. I didn't call him out his name or nothing, but he got mad because I was yelling. Yeah, you know.
And I wasn't even defending when I got in my fight. The man brought the fight to me. And
and it's funny that you say that because that same person was accused of falsification in another Discord.
For real?
Yes! You can't make it up! Oh, man! You can't make it up. And I wanted to tell you that, too. I wanted to tell you that, you know, off camera, off audio, whatever, you're like, yo, they calling for his head somewhere else because,
man,
bro.
The fake stuff is always gonna, you're gonna see it.
Yes.
Somebody gonna see it. Like, bro, get out of here.
Oh, man. Well, we gonna get Parker back in here. You know, he won't give us his phone number, so we gotta use, like, the crack symbol to get Parker.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Parker.
All right, here's a topic that I wanted to discuss for this show.
Go ahead, Levon. Go ahead, brother.
All right, so these PlayStation 5s and Series X's and S's, you know, now they're becoming more readily available, right? Have any of you guys, you know, saw a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X and S in the store, like in the retail stores, the Walmarts?
I've seen them in the store. I got 4 in my house, so they're everywhere here too. Oh, there's no Parker. Shout out to Parker. Parker, come back home, Parker.
So is it time for us to say goodbye to last generation? Is it time to say goodbye to that PlayStation 4? That's the question.
Yeah.
You want to go first, Ricky?
No, Loki, you take it. You take it.
You can go first.
The time to say goodbye. I say this is actually a good time. And it seems to be the way that things are heading. If you take a look at a lot of the AAA games that are coming out this year, a lot of them are on the current gen.
Current gen only.
Yep. You know the Star, as I'm sure people said before. You know, we got Star Wars coming out. Got Suicide
Dead Space
Squad
came out. The Plague Tale.
I think this made this, and maybe the sports games are probably gonna be the biggest cross gen title. I mean Hogwarts Legacy. And the sports games are probably going to be the biggest cross-gen title. Everything else is, for the most part, going to be next-gen. We got Spider-Man coming out later on this year.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it is. I think it is a good time. And it's a lot of people say, oh, it's taking forever. This is usually how it is. Maybe 2 years. But for the most part, we've had cross-gen, you know, almost every generation.
Yeah,
the only people that really don't do it is Nintendo.
Yeah. Parker, you're in, Parker.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm low key.
But for the most part, I think we moving in that direction, and it's welcome. I'm welcoming it for sure.
Yeah, you know, let's have Pastor Joe. Hold on, I'll do it. Send Pastor Joe a link to the Discord. Yeah, listen.
He gonna come in here and get some entertainment because you know he gonna catch.
Oh, facts. That's what he does.
What's your thoughts on? Is it time to say goodbye to the PS4? I think it is. I think it's time.
What do you think, Parker?
It's time. It's the only time and the right time, right? So, somebody's playing the show though. There's an echo in the back, so
Might be Rick, maybe.
No, it can't be me. I got on headphones.
Okay.
no. All right,
You still hear echo? You still hear one?
hold on. A little bit. Somebody's playing somebody must be playing the show. They should just mute it though.
All right, I'll mute and see if it's me.
Cause I already got this stuff muted though.
Hold on, Pastor Joe. I'm gonna get you a link right now.
Well, what's your thoughts on this, Parker? What's your thoughts?
I mean, like, I'm glad they're doing it, but I still can hear it. But they should have. I mean, you know, it took like reason why they didn't do it sooner because of the shortages.
Yeah, the chip shortages. Yeah.
So now you just go and get a PS5, no problem now, right? So now they're gonna, start to move away from that and stuff, and just focus more
on the
PS5.
current gen, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles.
Yeah. So hopefully, man, people, you know what I'm saying, they get good trading value for the PS4 though, no GameStop, whatever. But yeah, it's time to make that move though. It's tough.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Parker.
Yeah, it's time to take that move. Make that move.
Ricky, what's your thoughts, brother? What's your thoughts on is it time to say goodbye to the PS4 or just last gen in general?
Fuck no. Why say goodbye to something that's still making you money? Hell no. Listen, Take-Two didn't say goodbye to Grand Theft Auto 5-10 years ago. Listen, no. Why say goodbye to something that's making you money? Like, bro, that is crazy. Like, listen, I understand the question. It's a good question. All I'm saying is, if it was me, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all.
How long do you support the PlayStation 4?
Until you have one motherfucking sale on it. That's how long you freaking support it. As long as you got God of War coming to the PS4, Horizon Forbidden West. Now, you know what? Yeah, they're gonna start pushing it out, but it don't mean that people ain't gonna still buy it. Some people can't afford a PS5, so it's okay for them to keep their PS4. They still get the biggest game of last year, which was God of War. They still get the best game of last year, which was Horizon Forbidden West. So, what's the problem? It's like, hey, whatever. I think you keep making for it. You have everything there for it. Why? Listen, some releases, I get it. You say Spider-Man 2, that it's only going to be PS5, but you can't just... You got a lot of stuff on that PS4, bro. That was a hell of a gen. They stomped the hell out of Xbox. They had VR for it. They had all that stuff. So... I'd say no. I say still keep making.
You disagree? Okay.
I mean, only as a financials stand. I keep doing it. I mean, hell, they just made 1 million of them last year. Hold on.
I got to read Ricky Brown. They said they can't afford a PS5, but the standard PS4 is $300.
They don't make that. I think they make only the pros now, Parker. I don't think they make that.
No. On the PlayStation site, I seen the standard one for like $300, right? Even regardless of whatever, like $300. So you mean to tell me? I feel they could get a PS5. At least the all digital one is $400. So $100 difference is a big difference in quality and performance, though, and whatever.
I agree with that, and also. To Ricky's point about why take it off when you can make money, thing is that extra, if you can get them to go up to that PS5 digital, then you're gonna pay that extra $10 for that game instead of paying.
Dre said, "Let it die." Dre said, "Let it die."
Instead of paying that $60 for the PS4 version. You're gonna pay that $70. They're gonna make the money back if they get them to move up.
What the PS4 been out for?
Since 2013?
9 years.
It's about the 10 years.
Hey, Mac City. Hey, Mac, you got everything just like I do. Mac, what do you think? Mac City in the chat. Do you think that PlayStation should stop dealing with the PS4? You think they should let the PS4 die? Dre thinks they should let it die. I say, hey.
Listen, yeah, it should. But look. Overall, the scope of the games that's being made, you're going to see less and less games come to the P4, though. I'm telling you.
You will. But didn't they have a whole bunch of games, though, on one of the last PlayStation State of Plays that were coming out for PS4? Yeah, it was like 20, 30 games. So
yeah, I mean, you might get some 2D games, like those JRPGs.
You might get some indie games.
But the much bigger games, they're gonna stop making those for those last gen consoles and focus on the next gen and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ricky, were those indie games or AAA games?
It was probably
there was a lot of them was like AA.
Okay.
A lot of them was like third party stuff, but it was stuff.
Japanese.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Japanese is still going to some places.
Like, bro, you can't, bro. Them JRPGs, like a lot of those. You gotta understand
look
this
at
too.
Resident Evil 4 remake. Like that's coming on the PlayStation 4. Like,
yeah, see, there you go. Like, listen. When it's over for the PS4 is when the freaking third party dudes say it's over. That's what they say.
They probably will eventually. I mean, maybe I think a lot of in-house Sony stuff. They probably is gonna move like away from doing like this, like also like PS4, like The next God of War, if it is one, is gonna be PS5 PC. The next Gran Turismo is gonna be PS5 PC. So
Yeah. I see where you're going.
Even
with
Horizon
this.
DLC. That's
Yeah, it's PS5
That's
only.
like
Yeah, it is.
another
But
they over 30 million.
I think it'll come to PC. Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah, 'cause the first one did, right? So the PS5 is at 30 million, so I believe it's going to keep selling even more consoles, though, right? And even more games going to come out there. You know, bigger to some and smaller to others, whatever. But more games will come out for that. And you got the PSVR only works with the PS5, though, right? And so you look at that, and people I've been hearing good things about the PSVR too, though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's everything is trending towards at Sony the PS5 way, not to keeping the PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manhattan, what do you think? I see you creep up in here. I thought I heard some spears dropping. What do you think? You think it's PS4?
Do you think it's time to say goodbye to the PS4, Manhattan, or no?
It should have been, yeah. What are we still doing?
Oh man,
Put an end to that shit, so we could see some greatness, man.
we got
Holy
greatness.
shit,
We
man.
got Forbidden West. We got God of War. That's not stopping greatness. This greatness is still coming.
It is. Well, if you're gonna, as long as they just don't put games on. I mean, listen, they gotta just stop. They need to move forward and then just go full on exclusive with PS5s.
And also,
I mean-
like, they gonna put games.
I mean, they
on
don't
mobile,
gotta stop.
so,
They could let third party put games on it, but for
Yeah.
some,
Oh yeah,
first party, right,
definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
for the first
yeah.
party, like, you might want to be like, listen, I mean, because you can't just cut, you just can't. There's probably we're looking at 4 more years before they stop supporting the PS4, or
Like third parties.
4 more years.
It could be 2 more years.
Yeah,
First party,
because what
yeah.
happened is that Sony will move away from it, but until the third party fully stops supporting it, that's when they pull the plug. Microsoft and Sony do the same thing. They when Call of Duties and them stop putting games on them consoles, that's when Microsoft and Sony
Yeah,
will pull
listen,
the plug.
and third party is still making PS4, Xbox One games, and
Exactly.
when they're still making that, they're gonna.
I mean, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah, well, Capcom ain't stupid. I mean, they just Capcom is.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 is coming on the PS4.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
There's a
I
couple of
think
games.
once they really get to like 50 million or more, then maybe you'll see a considerable amount of drop off from PS4 sales in software. Because then that means like a lot of those people that's on the PS4 is migrating over to PS5. But Sony was getting a lot of new customers, so they want to continue to like migrate PS4 owners over to the PS5 though. So I say around 50 to 60 million. Then probably within 2 years, I guess, or less, they probably be at that number. And you'll see like more companies. It's gonna come down to the bottom line. So like if again lesser software sales on the PS4 and it's trending higher on the PS5, then you'll see they'll make the third parties make that decision to cut loose for the PS4 support.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, look, that's fair. Like I was just saying, like, hey, look, these brothers, Sony's all about the money, and listen, they do it very well. You can't, when it comes to marketing. Shout out to Batman who's in the chat now. My man, Batman's here. I just think that when you're the marketing leader, you know how to market. So if you know when it's time to pull the plug, and I don't think it's time yet. But I mean, it'll get phased. When the PS4 is dead, when the PS6 comes out. That's when the PS4 is.
Wow.
That's when the PS4 is dead. When the PS6. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today.
We got a full house.
Yeah, we
got
do. We got a special guest. This brother's never been on the show before. This is Pastor Joe. Pastor Joe, you get to speak here freely. We ain't gonna call you no kind of coons or nothing. What do you have to say, brother? Oh yeah, well, hey, look, Batman's in the future. He's like 6 hours ahead of us, so we can't be held accountable for what the Batman says. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button, yo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, Jay, we hear you.
We hear you.
Right. What's up? Thanks for the invite.
What's up, brother?
I can't. Cool, man.
The cool running. Come on.
Man, considering that question you just said here, when would Sony get rid of the PS4?
Yeah.
Like it or not, all of these things are driven by data. So Sony is aware, what percentage of PlayStation 4 gamers does buy their top first party games. So once the data is correct, meaning that once they have a good chunk of that PlayStation 4 player base, they will not stop supporting PlayStation 4 until they see a downward trend when it comes to buying software. We know that they're not buying no new hardware as much because for more than for more than a year or two, the PlayStation console sale did not rise or did not sell as much. But when it comes to software, persons are still buying software on the PlayStation 4. That is why most of their games are being released on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So it's all driven by data. Once the data is negative, then they will stop producing for the PlayStation 4.
I think it's the third parties is bigger because usually Microsoft and Sony they don't have problems stop making games first party for their consoles. It's usually the third party. When big third parties stop supporting like GTA, once GTA,
I thought like when 2K and those guys
PlayStation
said,
4,
2K.
it's over.
Yeah.
Right. Once 2K, right, and Madden,
Big
once those guys
multiplets.
said, listen, yeah, we not supporting it no more. That's when they're gonna be like, look, we gonna have to pull the plug because without GTA and them type of games, bro, it's like it's pretty much
Yo, Dre wants nothing to do with that PS4. His brother said he's ready for the funeral.
buddy.
Dre is ready.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to
I agree
Levon
with
with
Dre
a
on
bomb ass topic on that because I never.
Yeah,
That's a
thank you.
good. That's a good question, bro. It's
Because I
like,
mean, we are 3 years of this current.
yeah,
gen.
bro. There's still
It's something to think about.
Them PS4s, bro.
I think COVID did prolong it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
COVID did.
Wow, look at Manhattan, bro.
prolong
The
it because-
foreigners are in the house. Pastor Joe, Manhattan. These guys, look at that. They come in. Oh, yeah, bad.
The
man said-
foreigners.
Yeah, you're a foreigner.
Foreigners. You mean Pastor Joe? I'm a U.S. citizen. I gotta.
Whoa!
I got a green card.
No, you got a green. You weren't born here. No, we're not about to do that, Manhattan.
Yeah, you know what? Which I don't know about. Hey, Pastor, they don't know about good food, man. We know about good
No,
food. GMOs, they be
This is
eating
true.
out here, man.
Oh
They
man.
don't know
No.
about good food, Pastor.
no, they don't know about that bushmeat, man.
That bush meat. Listen to
They
these.
don't, they don't know.
I was gonna say about Jello. Listen, we'll talk about that another time.
Oh my god. Well, hey, listen, I'm glad y'all guys are here because I got another topic I want to talk about. It's a Call of Duty. Remember what Jason Schreier, who everybody thinks is the Jesus of gaming news, wasn't Jason Schreier the one that said that Call of Duty was going to be every other year now and not every year? Remember that? Wasn't that Jason Schreier that said that? Yeah,
I think he did say
that was Jason
it's gonna
Schreier.
be
Now,
biannual.
it looks like they're releasing a full Call of Duty game this fall. Wow. And I think it might have something a little bit to do with that ABK deal. What do you guys think? I want to start with Loki. What do you think about that? Yeah, let's let Loki do it because we gotta let Parker go last on this. But we gotta let because Parker done turn the whole damn place up around. You know what he gonna do. So what do you think about that, Loki?
That's interesting. This is the first time me hearing this. He said they're pulling out a full game, or is it gonna be DLC?
Oh, it's a full game, bro. It's a Call of Duty, a full premium 2023 title reportedly coming after all that Sledgehammer is doing. So we're gonna share this with the screen. Yeah, it's fucking Sledgehammer, bro.
What room is this in? Do you have the link for that?
It's gonna be right on our screen. It's it's in the room. It's in the general. It's
Go to
right.
WCCFtech.com.
That one threw me for a loop.
Yeah, ain't that crazy, bro? Yeah, I was like, yo, I can't believe that either. Like, yo,
Well,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, if that's the case, then
You know what I think that
I don't really
is?
know.
If they're releasing the game early, it's to get out of the contract early. With
yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, because think
Sony.
about
It's the only
this.
reason.
Yes, because didn't they just talk and say, hey, this is around the time when we were talking about re-upping this contract with Sony, and they're not answering our phone calls anymore. So,
Yeah.
I was thinking that it probably had something to do with that. And Loki,
There wasn't
it
supposed to be no
blindsided
mainline
Loki.
game
Loki
this
can't
year.
believe it either. Like, I'm like, oh,
Okay,
shit.
once y'all get done
I'm
talking,
done.
I'll break it down and tell y'all. Go on.
But not only that, let me say something. When it comes to Activision making Call of Duty, remember they have the manpower to produce a Call of Duty every year.
Yeah, they got
They
11 studios working on that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a lot. Not every company could do that. and seeing the amount of money Call of Duty generates, I don't think they would miss a year of putting out a Call of Duty, knowing that that might mean lower bonuses, lower advances.
Good point. Good
so
point.
if they can produce, which they could, a good quality Call of Duty every year, they will do it every single year because
they want to stop the gravy train.
Correct. So that's my
So go
point.
on that though, Pastor. What from my understanding, the original plan was that they was going to basically drop more content for Modern Warfare 2022 this year, paid content, not a new game.
Oh yeah.
Do you understand? So more story, more stuff, more for multiplayer, etc. Not a brand new game. But now, if they're saying there's actually a new entry into the franchise, that can only be to speed up the contract.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a take on this.
That makes a lot of sense because it probably they just spinning it off.
Okay,
It's supposed to be DLC.
Like a Destiny model. Like a Destiny model. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say this. For one, I don't know when the development started for Sledgehammer for this Call of Duty and stuff. So basically,
Probably 3 years ago.
Okay, so basically, let's say if it's gonna come out, if this game does come out in 2023, that means the game was already done and whatever. And what they talk about probably coming out every 2 years, they probably just blowing smoke. When they see those numbers that Modern Warfare did, they said, you know what, we got to release another Call of Duty to keep this, whatever. I think it's more business than anything. And I don't think it's coincidence though, because of the deal, regardless. Because regardless, it's based on game. Regardless of the game that came out last year, it's by game and not year though, by game basis.
Yeah, the contract is by game. Yeah, it's by game.
That's what I'm saying. So either way, if the game that came out next year, it would have counted then though, but it's not by year, by game, so it doesn't really matter though. The game's gonna come though, regardless though.
I think, and what do you think, Laymon? Let's get your take on it. I don't think we got to.
Oh Lord.
Well, I know you're a Nintendo guy. You don't have COD, so I get it. But Microsoft is trying to do you a favor and get you a COD.
I mean, hey, COD was on the Wii and COD was on the DS. COD was on the Wii U for a little bit with Call of Duty Black Ops and Call of Duty Ghosts. I mean, more games, the merrier, right? For the Nintendo Switch, that would be great.
Yeah, shout out to Dre. Dre has chatted that they may be trying to wash the hands of Sony. I think that's what it is too. I think that that
wasn't coming out this year.
I mean, here's what we can. Here's one thing that we can't dispute here. Regardless if Activision can get bought by Microsoft or not, Sony will no longer have these marketing rights for Call of Duty anymore. That's done.
Over. I want to say this. Also, do we know under this existing contract with Sony what is supposed to be the last Call of Duty game they're supposed to have under this contract? So
they said 2024 would be the end of the contract. Whatever comes first, 2024 or the other game.
Yeah, or the other game.
Yeah, or the other game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right now, Sony is playing with a bit of fire because right now Sony is messing with Bobby Kotick money. Right, Sony is messing with it.
Yes.
And a lot of the executives and a lot of the people that sit on the board, they are entitled to a lot of money, right? And right now, Jim Ryan and Sony, they are putting the pressure on Sony. They're putting the pressure on Microsoft to, cancel this deal. And when Bobby Kotick see that, his big PD is going down the pipes, no doubt he would be angry. No doubt he would
no doubt about it. Yeah, he's going to make more money than anybody off of this deal.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
So Sony's playing with a lot of fire. But Bobby even went out to threaten the UK, saying that the business Microsoft and Activision will not do any business in the UK. So a lot of persons are feeling threatened now because of the kind of things that Sony doing. So we'll see how it plays out.
Don't smoke, man. He's
right.
gonna gain a lot from this going through. So
this is what's going to happen. This is his exit strategy, Bobby. Right? So yeah. So
shout out to Phenom Gaming, my man. He's in here. He says Sledgehammer last game was Vanguard Wonder what they're gonna do next. And Phenom
Yeah,
is also
Vanguard did
saying,
not do well.
no, it did not. But Phenom
No,
also said,
well,
he said this is
our
also
performance.
guarantees a Modern Warfare 3 sometimes this gen. Is what he said.
What a remaster
Or
or a
another
reboot?
Black, or we get another Black Ops.
It did do well, but as far as performance and the people that like it, they didn't like it very much. As far as Vanguard go, well, I guess
What's
Batman
this?
could attest to that.
What's that?
Did the card community like Vanguard?
Oh,
No.
probably no.
No,
Yeah.
it was a commercial and critical flop as far as Call
Right.
of Duty goes.
Now
I
they
mean,
come
you got
out
to think
with the
Elden Ring
DLC.
made more money than that Call of Duty, which Call of Duty doesn't normally have
Nobody
any
usually
competition in
beats
terms
it,
of money.
Right.
Yeah, they know.
They
You know
broke
what I mean?
records with
So-
this one. Yep.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, that segues us into another topic. We got 2 more topics left. And this topic here will help us go into the granddaddy of the topic of the whole CMA findings. And we're going to be on that for about 20 minutes. But so I wanted to go to, again, Parker, the producer of the show, who got mad at me about 15 minutes ago. But he's back at work, which is good. Sony claims some Microsoft requests pertaining to FTC cases are obvious harassment. So Sony is playing victim, saying that they're being harassed with Microsoft requesting this documentation, which
Dumb.
now
Whatever that pertains
now
to.
going
yeah.
back 11 years, maybe that is harassment. But the fact is, if you're going to tell people that said game is very proprietary in order for you to live, breathe, and sell and make money, then you're going to have documentation saying that that's the case. You can't just sit down, cross your leg, and say, hey, without this game, PlayStation's going to die. You're going to turn us into Nintendo, who is really the market leader as far as selling consoles, by the way. But they're trying to say you're trying to turn us into Nintendo if, you guys buy Call of Duty. So then Microsoft calls their bluff and said, well, show us the paperwork that shows us that Call of Duty is this valuable or this vital to your system. So if you don't have the paperwork for that, then you don't have a leg to stand on.
Okay, I got something.
Go on. You
No,
go Parker first.
what we do know, right? In the findings, they were saying that like 24% of the PlayStation gamers, they said, would leave if COD was exclusive.
But that's a
to
poll.
Microsoft,
That's not
right?
financial.
No,
that's
no,
not,
no,
that's a
no,
poll.
no.
Hold on, let me finish though. Let me finish, right? So that's like almost 25%. So a
That
quarter.
was
Yeah, so,
in the
like,
UK.
so that's the
In the
stance
UK
right
only.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
the UK is a big COD market also though.
Absolutely.
It is.
All right,
it is
so-
big. But Parker,
Oh,
I understand.
hold
but this
on,
was
hold
an
on, hold
online
on.
poll, Parker. This is weird. What
I know,
Microsoft
but
is
let me finish. Hold on.
subpoenaing
Berkey, you gotta let people
documents.
finish, though.
Okay,
Come on,
all right.
come on.
This-
Yeah.
okay.
But I'm saying, like, now financially, COD makes Sony a lot of money. That can't be the. You know what I'm saying? COD probably sells the most on a PlayStation platform.
I don't. You think it
Regardless.
sells more on PC?
No,
I think it sells more
it's-
on PC.
No, overall, it
Nah.
sells the most on.
No?
More on PlayStation. It's-
Really?
Yes,
it's-
it
Okay.
does. They got the marketing. You even got a Modern Warfare 2 PS4 bundle, as well as a
Still.
PS5. So yeah, it sells the most probably. On the PlayStation platform though, it does. So that's a huge chunk of revenue that Sony will be missing out if it was become 100% exclusive to the Microsoft brand.
But they're telling you
Game
that
Pass,
it's
whatever.
not. But they've already told you. They said,
No.
look, we're giving you a 10-year deal to put it on Nintendo. We're going to put it
Yeah,
on Steam.
okay.
But I'm just saying, but I hear what you're saying, Parker, but in order to just nullify that or neutralize that whole statement, they told you they'll give it to you for 10 years. So I don't know
Yeah,
why
10 years,
I don't know why
okay.
they're freaking out about the whole thing. Like,
Yeah, like I said though, like now 10 years would be it's not a super long time where you just for a game just being only for 10 years, but like look at the life cycle of these consoles though, right? PS4 was 9 years though. Who knows how long this life cycle would be though, right? So who knows, right? And anything, who knows if nothing's not they said they're good, but we don't know what the conditions of that 10-year contract and stuff like that, right? They'll throw numbers out there to that. Then once that ink dries, and yes, you are the owners of Microsoft, then they could do whatever they want, whatever, however, and stuff. See?
Listen,
Go ahead.
Sony Sony came to the dance, and
Oh my
they
god, these analogies.
Sony
Go
came
on.
to the dance, and they saying that they don't like the music, right? Because
Sound like a Sean Paul video. Come on, we're good.
what,
Yeah,
what,
that's the
what
Pastor
we
Joe we
talking about?
know.
I don't
Easy,
think
you
he's
talking
no,
talking
listen,
about
no,
that.
listen.
Okay, go ahead. I'm right. I'm right.
What up,
So
Flippin'?
so
Yeah,
in the
what's up?
court case, they were allowed to make their statement. They were allowed to say, you know, how important Call of Duty is to their business, right? And they were allowed to make a lot of erroneous statements about Call of Duty, about
It's the second time I've heard
what
this nigga use that word. Jesus
what
Christ.
what Microsoft would do if they get Call of Duty. But seeing that they came to the dance, Microsoft should also be allowed to say, okay, just as what Ricky said, well, if it is, you are saying that is the case, well, then produce the evidence to show it, right? But the interview that Bobby Kotick just had, he said that Sony don't even want to have discussions anymore with Activision, right?
Right.
So Bobby said they went on record to say that, you know, Call of Duty is so important to them, but yet Bobby is calling, but Sony is not picking up. So we are seeing a double tongue there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And in addition to what Parker said just now there, so I touched on what Ricky said, but to just support what Parker said, you know, this guy, what's his name? This lawyer guy, Michael Pachter, right?
Michael
Oh my
Pachter.
god.
He made a good statement when it is he said that how the FTC and these regulators, their job is to make sure that the consumers don't how to say don't have a disadvantage by Microsoft buying Activision. So Microsoft went ahead of the regulators and said, here what? Not only that we are not taking it off of PlayStation, but we are going to give Nintendo and we are going to give Steam a 10-year deal. This is something that never happened before. Okay?
Said it.
So right now, when it comes to customers benefiting, they are benefiting dramatically compared to what they had previously, where it was only on Xbox and PlayStation. Now consumers are getting this game on more platforms. So we are not going to take away, we are going to give. So
It's like Bethesda, yeah.
yes. So if they already have that written down, when if this is to go to court, Microsoft would win automatically, because they already have the stepping stones to show that here what all the statements that Sony is making, there is no proof to support it. So, you know,
Man,
that's my take on this.
I think you all.
Nah.
they got proof the opposite. That's the funny thing. Got Bethesda. Showed them proof right there what they'll do.
Well, then they got Minecraft to say otherwise.
Ricky.
If you're talking Call of Duty, they got Minecraft because Minecraft has stayed multi-plat forever, and I think
that was the agreement. About
well, that was Mojang's. That was Mojang's
Yeah,
contingency and their
that's
bill of
why.
sale. But I think that, well, for one, if you look at the CMA's provisionary findings, it was a little off, because they're thinking that you need a high-power console to play cloud gaming. That's not the case, because their first statement, they were wrong. They said they can increase the price of their consoles for cloud gaming. That's wrong. That's not how you get the cloud gaming. So what this tells me is, after 3 regulatory bodies took a look at this deal, out of the big 3, only one of those regulatory bodies know what the hell gaming is, and that's the EU. The EU is the only ones that know exactly what gaming is. The EU didn't ask Microsoft to divest ABK. No, they didn't. They didn't ask them to do that. The CMA asked them to divest it. But a lot of people think when you say divest something, that means sell it. That's not actually 100%. That means when you can create a subsidiary of a company, like they made them do when ZeniMax was purchased. You create a subsidiary, it's almost like a third party, and they'll run the Call of Duty to be done for the PC, to be done for Nintendo, to be done for the PlayStation. That's what this subsidiary is when you have a company like that. When they tell them, they're not telling them that they have to sell it, because number one, they can't sell it, and I'll tell you why.
Like some of those Chinese companies.
No console maker should have it.
No, but that's the whole point. No,
The biggest multi-plat.
Yeah, and that's what Microsoft is saying they're going to do. They say, hey, look, we'll make it multi-plat so everybody can have it and everybody can shut up. We don't want to take it away because it doesn't make sense, which is true. If the game is everywhere, why would you want to cut your nose off to spite your face if everybody's going to buy it? That wouldn't make any sense. So everybody's screaming and jumping up and down and saying that it was holy hell that was going to happen because the CMA blocked the deal. No, the CMA didn't block the deal. The CMA said that it can harm competition. Now, they're saying this because they do not have any documents in front of them that are signed by Microsoft that says you will keep Call of Duty forever on PlayStation, or you will keep it, or put it on Nintendo. Those documents don't exist to the CMA, so that's why they have to say this is going to harm competition. And then this is the part where the Xbox sends their lawyers over with a bunch of crayons and stick figures to show the CMA how cloud gaming works, how Call of Duty is going to stay on PlayStation, how it's going to stay everywhere it is, on Steam or whatever. And I think the play here, and Sony did his job. Jim Ryan did his job. Shout outs to him. He did his job. He made Microsoft squirm and squirm, which once was an extra 7 years, then it went to 10 years, to now this bastard is going to get him a lifetime deal of Call of Duty to be on PlayStation forever. And that is what he was banking on. That's what he wanted. And that is what Microsoft is going to have to sign and say, we are going to allow Call of Duty, Warzone, and any other related things to Call of Duty to stay on PlayStation forever. That's what they're going to have to do in order for this deal to go through. And if you're Microsoft, you wait till after 10 years and you just rename the damn thing. What do you think,
Ricky,
man?
can I say?
Yes, sir.
I wanna
go ahead,
say
brother. I'm
something
done. Go
before
ahead.
All right, okay, that's right. The subpoena is for the FTC.
Yes.
It's not for the
Yeah,
DMA.
no, it's not for the CMA. It's for the FTC. That's right. 100%.
No. But I believe why Sony are digging their heels in is because basically the subpoena requires Sony to give all of their business dealings for the last like 10 years, which will expose a lot of the money hacking that we're aware of.
Yes.
Yes, right, yeah, which will paint Sony in a different light compared to what they've actually been publicly speaking
100%.
about how, you know what I mean, Microsoft doing this would be bad for the business and everything else like that. So that's why they're digging their heels and saying this is harassment. It's going to cost X amount of millions to produce their document. They really don't want to produce this information, right? But again, if you've been subpoenaed, then you'll have to eventually provide those documents.
You have to. Unless the lawyer quashes it, and I don't think that the lawyer will quash something because this kind of information is vital for the decision. Because I'm telling you right now, if you get the right judge or the right lawyers in the FTC, and they see how Sony does money hat these exclusivities, these third-party deals for Spoken being one, and all of that stuff, they might let it pass without any concessions at all, and say, "Hey,
if they see how the actual competition has been handling business, then that's a possibility. But and also another possibility is if Sony are thinking if they can really just hold this out for long enough." To where it missed the deadline, right?
Yes.
Where then Microsoft have to really think about: do we want to pursue this any further, or are we going to be out of pocket? Because I mean, we've all heard that that Sony have actively wanted to weaken Microsoft with these exclusives. Do you know what I mean? Like
yes.
Purposely in these anti-Game Pass or anti-Xbox contracts, like where a game can't come out and look better on the Xbox, it can't be in Game Pass, etc. When, like, for Resident Evil 8, I think, is the most recent one that comes to memory, where there's like an anti-Game Pass clause in that game. Like, it cannot go to said competitor's service.
And
After 2 years.
Yeah, and just to add to what Badman said, guys, can't you see how nasty Sony is playing? Sony is playing extremely nasty. And that is
billions of dollars at stake.
Yeah, and that is one criticism I would have for Phil. He's too nice, right? He's too nice.
Yeah. This guy doesn't show his teeth. He needs to cut his teeth.
You understand that? Correct.
Uh-huh.
But another reason why this deal, without a doubt, would go through is that just recently a precedent was set where both the CMA, the FTC, and the UK regulatory bodies said absolutely nothing when it is Fox made a deal to acquire some major studios and so forth, right? They didn't
Disney
have any
acquired Fox.
Yeah, they didn't say any concessions, anything.
Hold on.
If they're saying no,
Well, when
that
Disney
here was-
bought Fox,
That's
the
false.
concession was
That's
they
false.
had
There
to
was
sell
different
off their
president.
they had to sell off their sporting.
Their sports
local
division,
sports,
yeah, and the news.
The local sports had to go. So
The
that's
sports
false.
and the news media had to go, which
Yep.
is, they didn't really care about anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
there's a precedent already set. So right now things are looking good. It's just to get some other things ironed out, and I'm sure this deal will pass.
And to echo what Pastor Joe says, here's where I think the problem happens with the CMA. Because the EU has already said they're going to accept remedies in order for it to go through. EU already said it. They say, hey, look, we'll set remedies. The FTC can get beat in a court case. They can lose in court. You can't win a court case over here in America, have a guy in Europe, in the EU, accept remedies, and then the CMA is trying to be on an island by themselves and say, no, we don't want it to go through. You'll then be pressured into having to let the deal pass. That's just kind of how it is. So it does rely on the EU. The EU, the ball's in the EU's court right now. If the EU,
if it's accepted in the EU, it'll fall like dominoes.
Yes, exactly. There you go. If it falls in just like Badman said, if it falls in the EU, if it passes through there, it's gonna fall like dominoes.
Now I'm gonna say this. Now, let's say hypothetical deal passes. It's not important that the deal passes. It's how the deal passes and what concessions
are made. Yes, 100%. And we know what the concession is gonna be to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. And why would they listen? They are going to turn Call of Duty into Minecraft. I don't know why people don't understand that. That's the money maker. Do you not realize what the biggest game in the world is? The biggest video game in the world is Minecraft.
Rick, hold on. Listen, what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm gonna say this, and I'm saying if Call of Duty stays lifetime, whatever, I would have to commend Jim Ryan for his toils, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, he did his job. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the Xbox guys might be mad at Jim Ryan and say that he was lying and crying and this and that. At the end of the day, Jim Ryan is going to get his company a lifetime deal of Call of Duty, all while meanwhile, Sony is working on a Call of Duty killer. So they're going to be...
I doubt that.
They're going to be working on one.
It will never be a lifetime. It will never be a lifetime.
I don't know if it's going to be a killer.
No, but
something to compete with it. I mean, when I say killer, I mean they're trying to compete. Okay, it's got to be better than Battlefield, because they took the guys that made Call of Duty and they started a studio with them over there in Sony. I forget their name; it escapes me right now because I didn't think I'd be bringing it up today. But those are the guys that started. They were going to start a first-person shooter for them, and if you get those guys that helped make the other Call of Duties, get over there with the guys at Bungie, you can make a hell of a game.
That sounds better. How about
Revelation or Develation?
No. How about you bring back SOCOM and just add all that?
That's a dead. That's a dead IP though, Parker. Nobody.
Hold on. Let me finish though. Right, you redo SOCOM though, right? And stuff. It's free to play, whatever. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
it'll have to be free to play.
Do that. Cause remember they got those former Rainbow Six devs over there at Sony also.
Well, let's just agree to agree that there's a reason why they're making all of those gas games. Because if you want to compete with Call of Duty, it's going to have to be a free-to-play game. People think that this Call of Duty release that happens every year it's really Warzone that's the dude. That's the guy. Is the Warzone.
Now it is, yeah.
Yeah, Warzone's the guy. So, that's kind of... and I think that the Microsoft lawyers and Phil Spencer and the rest of those guys are going to kind of explain to the CMA who doesn't get it. Again, the EU is the only regulatory body that makes sense. They're like, hey, look, we're not... Because the EU said they're not worried about them keeping Call of Duty. They said, the EU said they're worried about the cloud. They said, we see that you guys can disrupt the world with that cloud. Because right now, Microsoft is the only console maker that's investing into the cloud. Nobody else is. So if you're looking, hell, you could be looking at a whole nother Windows kind of thing here where they dominate a freaking operating system. So that's what the EU doesn't want to happen.
No, guys, I have to go. I mean, I say one thing before I leave.
Yes, sir, Pastor.
That's
Have
true.
at it, brother.
Yeah, that's true. What it is you said. No, it had a little discussion with Trash on
Oh my god.
on next gen, right? King Trash was saying that the reason why the FTC is going after Microsoft is because the amount of data to
Oh, I
get by
remember this.
buying Call of Duty. And I was making the argument that I told him that's that's a very stupid argument, right?
Stupid. God.
Stupid argument. Here why it's stupid. And then after I said, right now there are data that other companies have from Sony. How did they get it? How did they get that data from Sony?
Fair point. That's
So,
a fair point.
so to say that the reason why they should stop it is because Microsoft would be entitled to a lot of data. All these companies have data on everyone already. So to say that it was just foolish, and that is why I got kicked off last time. So that was the whole scenario, right? So, guys, thanks for inviting me up.
Hey, thanks,
good
Pastor
show.
Joe.
I'll
Hey.
pass you again. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming,
for
brother.
coming.
We're
Yeah,
here
man.
every Saturday, brother. Every Saturday we do this.
Every Saturday.
Yes, every Saturday.
That's right.
Yep, every
Next
Saturday.
week, I'm coming. I'm coming with a pong of bush meat for all you guys.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
man.
All right.
Respectfully declined, but thank you. I appreciate
Respect to
it.
Pastor Joe, everybody. Thanks for coming through, Pastor Joe. Yo,
And just
yeah,
crap the whole time he was on.
oh, hey, that's his job. So flipping, you came late. So what do you think about this whole deal and the remedies that the CMA is telling Microsoft that they might have to divest Activision, sell the IP, which nobody can afford, or they'll be monopolistic themselves if they buy it? What do you think about it?
You started butting out. I mean,
What was that?
you started
Huh?
butting out.
Yeah, internet, because he sounded fine on mine.
Oh,
Yeah, you sound fine on me, bro.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Well,
Hey, you eating, brother? Come on.
it's all right, Flip. So, Flip, in the end, I'll tell you, I'll give everybody the same question. And I'll let Parker start off because I haven't heard from Parker in a while.
Okay,
Do you think
so-
do you think the deal passes? And I want you to answer that last. And do you
Okay.
think they would divest it, or do you think that the CMA is going to be okay with taking the behavioral remedies and allowing all access?
Now, so like, if they should make it like Call of Duty its own little entity, so to speak. The deal with Bungie has with Sony, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say this.
Yeah, so
Yeah, go on.
that could, or you could just give the COD the Minecraft deal.
Yes.
You know, so that could be
Yes.
another thing. Instead of
Yeah,
doing
this
all
is
that.
diff- yeah.
Yeah. So I can see a
Perfect
deal
sense.
passing if it was a Minecraft type of deal with Lifetime, whatever though.
Mhm.
So because like Sony probably more inclined to be in a console business, probably compared to Microsoft. So that's why a 10-year wouldn't be adequate deal for Sony though, because they're hardware makers though, so they're more likely gonna make consoles and stuff. More than So yeah, we probably get multiple PlayStation consoles.
Now,
So-
I want to piggyback
Yeah,
off of what you
go
said
ahead.
with that is, I think what Sony is going to have a problem with is that the Microsoft or the Xbox version of Call of Duty is going to be, it's going to have more frames because Xbox is a more powerful system. You see, in a marketing deal that Sony has with people, it said in the deal that the game cannot perform better on other consoles. Where so now that Microsoft owns the said IP, it's going to perform better. And and when Digital Foundry gets a hold of it, remember that's what killed the Xbox One. Is when Digital Foundry was telling people that this is 1080p.
1080p,
Yes.
720p.
Yes, the
I don't know
1080p.
about that.
That was the first shot, and they never recovered from that. That was the first shot
What
because
about Halo?
well, Halo.
What?
No, we're talking about
Hold on,
Xbox One. We're not talking about the Xbox. We're talking about
hold
Xbox
on,
One.
hold
Look,
on.
what are you talking about?
It's so powerful. What about
Hold on.
Halo?
No, what I'm saying,
Word.
as far as with COD goes, I don't think they'll give the Xbox more frames to run than PlayStation. I think it'll be equal across the board and stuff.
Well,
Cut they fade off.
I'll tell you why I don't
That's
think.
how-
I tell you why I don't think that. Here's why. Because, like I said, in the marketing deal, they wanted to run best on PlayStation, so they're going to make it run for the best for that PlayStation dev kit. If you're running it from the Xbox, the Microsoft dev kit, and then you source it to the other guys, it's definitely going to be better. How do you think that these games? How do you think that these games right now?
There's no need to do that. Though.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Hold on, Parker. Let Ricky talk.
Yeah, because why do you think a lot of those other games outperform Xbox, and the Xbox is a more powerful system? That's why those deals. Like, it has nothing to do with the system. Like, you'd be a damn fool.
I'm pushed back on that. I have pushed back on that.
Go ahead.
Okay, looking the greatest.
Hold on, I want to say this though, right? Now, hold on, I'm about to tell it right now. Now, we do know Sony has a market for Hogwarts Legacy, right?
Yes,
now,
we know.
when Digital finally showed that you actually, Microsoft have more frames, hold more on Xbox. So, no, they're not going to do that. So that's nothing to do with the marketing, why you got more
Guess
frames
what?
and stuff like that.
I find it hard to believe that the Hogwarts marketing deal is anywhere as lucrative as the one for Call of Duty. So that's not
it's
Call
of Duty.
You made that argument, though, Rick. See, that's why I get false flag.
But every
You think
argument.
holding back Call of Duty?
Yes, absolutely. I think they are. I think
They're
are.
not business-wise. They're not going to do that. They want everything to sell just to go to each platform.
It's not a matter of
Not
selling.
one-
They
hold
want
on,
it
let
to
me
perform
finish.
better.
Hold on, Rick. Let me finish. We talk about business-wise. When they're the owners of Call of Duty, business-wise, they get all this money coming in from all sides, stuff like that. You don't want one to sell better just on this one particular platform based off of performance, right? Where everything could be equal. If everything's equal, running the same frames, 120, right? Cool. It'll be like that then.
I'm not arguing.
Anyway.
I'm not arguing. All I'm saying is, you best believe there's a reason why Sony keeps making up that parity. They keep stamping up and down on parity. They keep saying it. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
However, listen. If you remember, like from the Mark Cerny keynote, right? The PlayStation 5 dev kit is very much like the PS5 or PS4.
Yeah, PS4
so,
Pro. It's just like it. Yep.
Essentially, that's where you see games run better on the PlayStation because the development environment is very much the same. It's just, you know what I mean? You just have more horsepower to get out what you want. That's why games like, for example, the PS4 version of Elden Ring runs best on the PS5, despite there being a PS5 version. So that also factors in where Microsoft completely changed the dev kit for the Series X for all the other bits that we haven't seen yet. Like, do you know what I mean? That's also why there's a delay. Like I said, we have the power, but we're not fully utilizing it. And yes, you will see that happen with studios that come under Microsoft if once they get to know how the hardware actually works, like Bethesda, when they're learning about how the hardware actually fucking works, they should be able to get the most out of it instead of it running buggy as shit.
Yes, absolutely. Flip, you want to add something to this? Oh, I think Flip sleep at the wheel. What about you, Loki?
Shoot, what was the question?
Oh, man, he sleep too. Damn.
It's just that I listened to his answer and I'm like,
well, we were talking. We were talking about. Well, damn. What the hell?
You're saying that
you was on about you said that the marketing deals affect the parity for the
the performance of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do I agree with that? Not necessarily. Batman kind of did, give me a different perspective as to why it's a bit, harder to develop for the Xbox. But no, I mean, look at some of the first party games from Xbox, studios themselves.
They're shit right now.
They having trouble too.
No.
But,
I don't think they have any, Loki.
I gotta see it first.
Yeah, I don't think they have
as
any.
far as multi-plots, I'm trying to think of any that I would say, oh man, this looked ridiculously beautiful. I guess I would say the best looking one is what's the little girl and she got the sling. What's that game? Oh, Plague's Tale. Is that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I say that looked pretty good, but I gotta see it first.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot then with this question, because this is gonna be the last question for the panel. Then we're gonna head up out of here. So, do you think they're gonna divest Activision. You know, give it a
Oh
subsidiary.
yeah.
Or
yeah.
not only do you think they'll do that, or do you think they'll do behavioral remedies, and do you think the deal goes through?
Right. Okay. I do think it goes through. I do think they they do take some of those concessions into account. You know, I say it'll probably be they'll just let it be its own thing, or even if they let them keep it, it's gonna be gonna have to like allow it to be much
Its own entity,
everywhere.
like a third party run it.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
It's gonna.
That's what I think too. I think that it has to be. It has to mirror what happened with Minecraft. The same way that all the Minecraft Legends and all that stuff comes out, you know, day and date. It comes on PlayStation the same time it comes on Xbox, and I think that's what COD's gonna have to be. And you know, and I also think that Microsoft loses here because they can't use their marketing deal prowess in this deal. Like, they can't keep anything exclusive. They can't get exclusive skins. They can't. Well, they could. They could get exclusive skins, like if you use the Master Chief or, you know, the who's the guy, Demon Slayer. What's the name from
Doomslayer.
Doomslayer. You can use him, or you can use any other Microsoft. You know, the Skyrim.
Yeah, basically, just saying you
stuff
can't
like
leverage the new IP against your existing catalog, which is
exactly
the same as what it is now.
And if we all remember it correctly, how this deal came about wasn't like it was just something they was planning on doing. You know, Activision, even though they were popular, Vanguard was not doing well. They were on the ropes.
Bobby Kotick with all his allegations. Yep.
Right. The allegations from
about
Kotick, their front office, a lot of them getting fired. So they were on the ropes, and then Microsoft said, "All right, let's go ahead and swoop up and swoop in and get."
They was approached. No. They was approached. Microsoft approached them. They approached Microsoft. Sorry,
asked them to stop the bleeding. Whatever the situation was. But
because you know why? Because that stock, I think, it was trading at $120, and then it went down to like 70 something. Like
it was like 60 something or 70 something.
Yeah,
like
it got bad.
So
exactly.
100%. So. You know, so it's not like they really needed this. They've tried to seize an opportunity, and they're still gonna get to. They're not gonna be able to leverage it like they probably thought when they first got it.
And you know what? The bad part about this deal is if it does happen, the worst boss CEO ever gets to walk out of here with the bag, and you can't even sue the bastard. He walks away with his bag, and you can't do nothing to him. He walks away for free. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're not really even talking about that anymore.
If the deal goes through?
Bobby, if the deal goes through, Bobby walks.
Yeah.
Bobby walks, bro. He's good. Like, you can't do nothing to him because he owns...
It's my prerogative. That's what he said.
Yeah, Bobby owns more stake in the company than anybody else. You know,
listen, he's about to get that bag.
Yeah, he walks away, and you can't even sue him for it. Like,
nope.
Yo, that's crazy. Like, this dude...
I think he got an immunity deal, bro.
Yeah, he's been the worst boss ever, and this guy's going to sit here and get to walk away with hundreds of $1 million, yo. And nobody can say shit. So, Flippin', what is your take on it? Do you think they divest Call of Duty, or do you think they do these remedies, and do you think the deal goes through? What do you think?
I think the deal does go through, man. I feel like Xbox needs to prove to many gamers out here that they can actually pull this. They can actually pull through with Call of Duty and not slack off like with the rest of the games that they've been slacking off with.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Microsoft has done very well with Minecraft. I think the Minecraft Legend, my son loved it. Hell, our whole house, we all played it together at one time. I think Minecraft has become the biggest game in the world. And it wasn't the biggest game in the world when Mojang owned it. It became the biggest game in the world when Microsoft purchased it. So I think they did do I think Minecraft is their first W in a long time, because I can name Mixer and I can name Nokia, big time failures that the company had. But the Minecraft thing wasn't I don't think that's
because they didn't touch it. They couldn't touch it. It was in the contract. They can't touch it. It stays how it is.
Yeah.
So that's why they had the success that they've had, is because Mojang's still running that fucking ship.
Yep.
If Microsoft got involved with it, arguably it may not be where it is right now.
Shout out to Drake.
You know what I mean? Yes.
Drake
Yeah,
said
bro, I'm being real with you.
Been publisher of the year the last 2 years. I'm talking about Xbox. Oh, Drake. Always Mad Gaming. What's up, brother? I've been watching your wrestling videos out there, bro. I've stayed tuned, brother. I appreciate that. Always Mad Gaming. I'll be watching your Royal Rumbles and stuff you got going on over there. What's good, brother? So yeah. So Levon, we're gonna end with you. You're
all right.
You know, do you think that now? Listen to the question here, because I know you're only 22. So
what?
Yeah, you're young.
I'm
guy.
23. I'm 23. But anyway, get to the question.
All right.
Oh my
pardon
God.
me, right? He's pushy little light skinned nigga. So anyway, so do you think that Microsoft has any? Let's say if their divestation of COD was some selling it, and do you think they could even sell the thing, or do you think they're going to, as that the CMA will take the remedies, and do you think the deal will go through?
Ooh. You know, as far as, COD being its own thing or whatever, like, how would that work exactly?
Exactly how Mojang works right now.
Exactly how Mojang works right now. Batman.
Basically,
man.
the status
Batman
quo
came to
stays the
play,
same,
boy.
it's just-
Batman got them twins like me. He laid them babies down, and now he's ready. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember those days.
Whoop.
Yeah.
I could see the deal going through, but at the end of the day, at this point, it will just be the same thing, COD coming to PlayStation, like it's always been since the PS2 days or whatever. So it will just be like that, basically.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think so. What was going on over here? Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a lifetime deal, bro. And I don't think there's nothing they can do. I know Phil didn't want it to be a lifetime deal because I think they wanted them to be able to leverage a certain game for the new Xbox that came out and say, hey, put that Call of Duty on that Xbox box along with the Master Chief. Well, he'll be in the back because he's hurting right now. But then you put, other characters, the Doom Slayer, that kind of stuff, put that on the box and say, hey, look, this is what we own. And you own Call of Duty. That's like a big deal, And, I think they didn't want to do a lifetime deal. They wanted to do 4.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
I bet they wanted to do like that 10-year, 4-year deal.
Well, first it was 3, then it was 4, then it was 7, then it was 10, and now it's going to have to be a lifetime.
Like it's usually been this whole time before.
Yeah.
So, if it does turn out to be a lifetime, like I said, credit to Jim Ryan and the crew, because like I said, people say, "Oh, it's credit to that," but saying
that's his job. That's his job.
Right?
That's his job.
And at the same time, they working on getting better because, like I said, I believe they have. You talk about the show, the State of Play, possibly in a bigger show coming.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, cool.
That's when you was a little angry at us, and but.
Oh, now let me get to that. Now, I told Ricky. He said, "Well, Sony did not release Forspoken. It was a second party deal, right? Whatever the case may be, the game, how it got perceived, performance of the game is not indicative on Sony."
But that's not what I said, Parker. I said they had a hand in allowing that to be released. I didn't say it was their fault.
Hold up, no. Let me listen. Not so much they had a hand in allowing it to be released. Once they already signed that marketing deal, contracts already signed. The game will eventually, whatever game come out, was gonna come out. Marketing deals was already signed.
So that doesn't matter, though. Parker, you telling me they can't say, "Look, we don't like the way that this game is running."
Oh, the contract's already signed. The ink is dry.
Ty's here. Ty, how's that marriage counseling going, brother? Did you do it all right today?
It went good,
brother. It went
good.
So you met with the pastor, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And that's where he had to go.
Yeah. Hey, trust me, you'll be going there too one day.
Oh. Hold on. Oh yeah. I'm glad Ty's head though, right?
If the deal is a lifetime deal for Sony, it's still going to benefit Xbox because that $1 billion that they generated every year is going to come to Xbox, and that's going to in return help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
but the only thing we were saying is that Jim Ryan did his job. They wanted to give that. He went from 4 deals, 4 years, 7 years to 10, and this brother's gonna get him a lifetime deal. All that kicking and screaming, and he got what he wanted. He got parity. He got day and date, and he got a lifetime deal. All things that were not on the table at one time. Imagine that. None of that was on the table for him. And he
But he scored
and he
earth
got
to
it.
get all of it.
He sure did.
And he ruined relationships and a whole
He
bunch
did.
of extra
Well, I
shit.
was about to say. Now here's where it hurts, Jim Ryan. You're never going to get that marketing deal anymore. You're not that's gone. So you can forget about that. So now what happens is, if Call of Duty stops being the number one seller on PlayStation, it's now the number one seller or played the most on Xbox, you know, that he kind of loses. He doesn't get as much money as he used to get. But then again, he kind of counted on that happening anyway. So that's why.
But hold on, Ricky. Let's not even talk about Call of Duty. Call of Duty is Call of Duty. That shit could fade down the line. You know what I'm saying? All the future games, everything that's coming in the future, he fucked that up.
Like what?
Possibly.
Like
what? Well, Overwatch. You know, you never know what happens with that.
Oh, but listen. That's
they're not gonna do that.
Well, I tell you what they won't do. I find it hard to believe because they were talking about putting World of Warcraft to be ported on console. I don't think they'll do it for PlayStation now. I think I don't think they'll do it.
Hey Ricky, they don't even need to do this. If they put the World Class subscription within Game Pass, you better see numbers go up.
Oh God!
Not even that. Listen, no one is talking about like Microsoft is also looking to basically become like a mobile app store with this deal. This isn't just about Call of Duty. They're looking to get into the mobile app store business as well. So that's another sort of avenue that
I think Call of Duty is the cherry on top of this deal. To be honest with you,
I spoke on that about the mobile. I said that countless times, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but I think Call of Duty is the cherry on top.
Niggas ignore that.
Yeah, it is. Right? Yeah,
it's the cherry on top. Because but think about it, Call of Duty, that game is what keeps the company afloat. Because not
really.
Not really. You're talking about Candy Crush and.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Activision part of it. We already know what King is. Candy Crush.
Activision and Blizzard though, so they
Blizzard is World of Warcraft. Activision's Call of Duty. King is Candy Crush.
No, when you go to Blizzard, like they all together though. Well, so so it's like
it's the ABK deal for a reason, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Activision, Blizzard, King. It's all together.
Mm-hmm.
But King makes the most
League of
money.
Legends is huge. But saying though, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna say this: yesterday's prices are not today's prices. Expect that Game Pass to go up.
Nah, that's gonna be one of the deals they might have to sign, that they can't raise Game Pass because the CMA said that they can raise prices and then they can't do it. That might be one of the remedies to say Microsoft might say, hey.
But Ricky, this is only in the UK. If the EU and the FTC lose their case, and it's just they'll eat that. If it's just the UK, in terms of in the global scale of it, they'll eat that. They'll be like, okay, fine. The UK will want that. Everybody else will take it with no concessions. Fine.
If you get millions and millions of more players, do you really need to raise the price?
One thing you have to
No,
understand
not
about
from
World
the
of
influx
Warcraft.
you'll get from putting them on Game Pass.
No.
World of Warcraft has its own personal subscription.
Absolutely. They're
gonna convert that to Game Pass. You best believe.
No, that's what Game Pass.
They won't convert it. They won't convert it. They'll probably add it in.
Integrate it. They'll integrate
adjust PC Game Pass to have it incorporated. They won't fuck with console players. But again, that will help them with the push on PC Game Pass as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Warcraft always been like that though.
It's massive. It's massive. I think they've got like 300,000 subscribers, something stupid like that. It's huge.
Yeah, it is, and it's mostly you UK brothers.
But
with that, now the nuclear thought, now tie and bounce. But the nuclear thing would have been though, and we'll talk about this a little bit on Monday. Is what if the CMA says no, we don't want it, and then Microsoft says, all right, cool, no Call of Duty for the UK then, take that. Like that'd be crazy.
I don't think Microsoft.
Yeah, that's what they could do.
They could.
That's the worst case scenario. They could say we just won't sell it here, which would then force. Yeah, which would basically force from PlayStation users you'd be fucked, but they know Xbox and PC users could buy codes from abroad and go. I told you this, Xbox is region 3.
It's region 3
so, which would take the money out of the the UK. But that would be you'd be threatening the UK government at that point. Second, we will take money out of your economy if you did this.
Yeah, they tell you.
Hey, they could have had the money there, but they wanted to fight.
Yeah, they did. Well,
This is true.
Well-
but telling the government we're going to take money out of your economy, X amount. You know what I mean? Like they've already said, that in the UK, the games, people spend more on games than they do on TV and
yeah, they do. They certainly
music
do.
combined in the UK. So like saying like the biggest game in existence currently, we just won't sell it in your region.
Yeah.
It's just basically saying you're going to lose out on X amount of billions of revenue.
Yeah, but then I'm pretty sure the regulators are there. They'll just be like, all right, fine, just whatever.
Well, that's when the Prime Minister gets involved, mate.
Yeah, they were saying that they can that Xbox might tap the Prime Minister, even though you can't assume. They said that they would probably write to the government and say, hey, look, we're being disrespected here. The EU agreed to it. The FTC has no precedence here. Help us out. And they said that they could probably do that. But that's for Monday's show. Thank everybody that joined through. Hit the like button, subscribe. I left the Discord tab here in the chat here. Join the Discord. It'll be fun. We got a lot of stuff going on in here. But I got to get out of here because the family wants the television. They want the room, really. They want the whole room because when the Rick goes live, he demands silence. And so they're just over there itching. They want to talk. They want to watch the TV and stuff. And you know what? They can have it. I had an hour and 41 minutes to talk to people. And I appreciate Badman. Thanks for coming through. Dre, Flippin'.
Okay, brother.
Appreciate that. Levon, my man. Low-key. Thanks for coming through. Short notice. Parker. Glad we made up. And I'll see you Monday. We might do a Super Bowl halftime show. That'd be fun. Yeah.
Oh man.
They might. Especially if the Eagles are losing. Yeah, really.
Go Kansas City, man.
Yeah, I'm going for Kansas City too. Yeah, let's do a Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay, I got a question. Is anybody playing High Life?
Hi-Fi Rush?
VHS? Hi-Fi VHS?
Oh my God.
Bro, I played that game for 10 minutes and I didn't like it. I can't do it.
Hogwarts Legacy is on fire right now.
Well, that's the game right now. I mean, you're talking like an Elden Ring-ish kind of, thing.
I was telling y'all this stuff, right? I was telling y'all this stuff.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
things like
both controllers sold out in PlayStation Direct store in the US and the UK.
Yeah, I mean...
What, as a custom controller?
Yeah, like a theme controller for the Hogwarts. It's sold out in the UK and in the US PlayStation store. We have to wait till it comes to Amazon, I guess, Best Buy, and them. You snatch them up. That controller went faster than a God of War controller.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you were right, Parker. You were right. Eclipse was right about Elden Ring. You was right about the Hogwarts game. So, that's what it is. All right, fellas. Thank y'all all for coming through, and I'll see y'all on Monday.
Okay. Hey, Loki, down the wrong wall zone.